Jesus Rose for Me by Jared Kennedy and illustrated by Trish, Mahoney. For 3 years, Jesus' friends followed him while he taught God's people. Jesus' friends saw many amazing things. They saw Jesus turn water into wine and calm stormy seas. They saw Jesus fill nets with fish and heal sick people. They even saw Jesus bring dead people back to life. Now it was time for Jesus to go to the big city of Jerusalem. 2 of his friends found a donkey for Jesus to ride. Jesus climbed up on the donkey and began riding toward Jerusalem. His friends walked with him and sang about all the wonderful things they had seen Jesus do. "Hooray!" they sang. "Jesus is good and powerful. Jesus truly comes from God. Jesus is a friend to children and sinners." As they got closer to Jerusalem, more people began to join the friends. They wanted to sing too. They remembered that God had promised to send a king who would arrive in Jerusalem riding on a donkey. The people wanted Jesus to be their king, so they picked up palm branches and waved them in the air. It was like a big parade. The people shouted, "Praise Jesus, he is our king." But some of the people did not sing. Some people did not want Jesus to be their king. The Pharisees were jealous of Jesus. They wanted the people to praise them instead. Then Jesus told the Pharisees, "You cannot stop the singing. If the people are quiet, the rocks on the ground will start singing and praising me." In the big city of Jerusalem, Jesus and his friends met together in the upstairs room of a house. They sat on the floor around a low table and ate supper together. While Jesus and his friends ate, they retold the old story about how God had freed his people from slavery in Egypt. They remembered how God had rescued them and made them into a new family. Everyone who trusts Jesus is part of his forever family. Jesus gave his friends a new meal called communion to help them trust him and remember him. Jesus took some bread and a cup of wine. He said thank you to God. Then he broke the bread into pieces. Jesus gave the bread to his friends and said, "This bread is broken just like my body will be broken, to pay for your sin. Eat this bread and remember me." Next, Jesus passed the cup to his friends so they could take a drink. Jesus said, "This wine was poured out into a cup just like my blood will be poured out for you. Now you are a part of my forever family. Drink from this cup and remember me." After supper, Jesus and his friends walked to a garden to pray. Judas came too, but he didn't come to pray. Judas brought soldiers with him to take Jesus away from his friends. Judas had pretended to be Jesus' friend, but he was really Jesus' enemy. The soldiers took Jesus and put a purple robe on him as if he were a king. They made a crown out of thorns and put it on Jesus' head. Then the soldiers made fun of Jesus. "Look at what a weak King Jesus is," they said. Next, the soldiers punched Jesus with their fists and hit him with whips. They made Jesus carry a heavy wooden cross up a big hill. Jesus was too weak and tired to carry the cross very far, so the soldiers grabbed a man named Simon and told him to carry the cross for Jesus. At the top of the hill, the soldiers put Jesus on the cross. They hammered nails through Jesus' feet and hands, and they left Jesus there to die. On the cross, Jesus showed us how much he loves us. Jesus died on the cross for us even though he had never sinned or done anything wrong. Jesus died because we do wrong things. Jesus took the punishment for our disobedience and sin. Jesus died instead of us. After Jesus died, his friends wrapped his body with strips of cloth. They put his body in a cave called a tomb. Roman soldiers rolled a big stone in front of the tomb. They told guards to stand there and make sure no one tried to take Jesus' body away. A few days passed. Then, early Sunday morning, there was an earthquake. A bright, shining angel came down from heaven. He rolled the big rock away from the front of the tomb. The guards shook with fear. Ah! 2 women came by and saw that the rock was not in front of the tomb anymore. The cave was empty, and Jesus' body was missing. The angel told the women, "Don't be afraid. Jesus is not here. Jesus has risen from the dead. Jesus is alive." Then the angel said, "Quickly, go and tell Jesus' friends." The women obeyed. They ran out of the garden, down the road, and into town. They found Jesus' friends and told them, "Jesus rose from the dead. Jesus is alive." Peter and John were amazed. Could the women be telling the truth? They wanted to see, so they ran out of the town and up the road to the tomb. When they got there, John peeked inside. It was true. Jesus was not there. Jesus is alive.